My name is Eddie Alter, and today I'll be presenting the Inglis University Library case. The concepts covered in this presentation will be relevant range, the difference between fixed and variable costs, and how changes in volume affect total cost. An overview of the case is that the Inglis University Library's donations department consists of two people, a head librarian and a graduate student assistant. They're in charge of finding donations of books to the library from alumni and the local community. Recently, they've come in possession of some rare books that have provided prestige for the library and has already resulted in an increased enrollment of students seeking to have access to those books. Duplicate books that have been donated and are already in the library are also sold at the end of the year for additional income. However, the donations department has started to not be able to process the supply of books coming through and have requested additional help to be able to meet the demand. Relevant range is the range of activity where fixed costs remain constant. Currently, the average books donated per year and processed by the donations department is 1,000 books. Because they're having trouble meeting this, we can conclude this is the upper range of their relevant range. The department now needs new funds to establish a new higher range by hiring additional help. A breakdown of the costs are the biggest cost is the head librarian's salary. $12,000 of her total $48,000 salary is allocated to the donations department. This is a committed fixed cost because without it, the donations department would not be able to maintain its current operations. It is an indirect cost because all of her salary is not specifically donated to or allocated to the cost driver, which is the books themselves. The graduate assistant stipend is a fixed committed cost of $5,200, and this is a direct cost because all of those costs can be directly attributed to the books. The facility allocation cost is the part of the library where they are holding the donations department. It takes into account the property taxes, the utilities, and the maintenance for maintaining that area of the library. It is $1,200. It is a committed fixed cost because without it they wouldn't be able to maintain their current output, and it is a direct cost because that portion of the library can be directly attributed to the books. Now we move to the variable cost, which is the RFID tags. These tags must be put on every single book that comes into the library in order to be able to track it. It is 50 cents per book, and it is a direct cost because the RFID tags can be directly attributed to the books being processed. The proposed new cost to the department would be $5,000 for additional part-time student help. This would be a fixed cost for the relevant range and would be flexible because it would be able to be changed as the output is determined per year. It is a direct cost because it can be attributed directly to the books. Now we can see a cost breakdown that the committee in charge of determining the proposal has put together. You see, they use the current units of $1,000. They have all three of the fixed costs I mentioned, as well as the proceeds from the year-end book sale, which has been historically $1,000, bringing their total fixed cost to $17,400. When you add in the variable cost of the RFID tag, it brings the total cost of one book being processed up to $17.90. The committee then redid the process, adding in the part-time student help of $5,000, and concluded that the total unit cost would move up to $22.90. Based on this analysis, the committee denied the request. Some of the statements they made were that if 2,000 books were donated, the total cost would become $35,800. They achieved this number by multiplying the cost per book of $17.90 by 2,000, and this is incorrect because they multiplied the total cost per book and not only by the increase in volume and not the variable costs. Below we can see the correct equation for determining how much it would cost them to process 2,000 books as the total fixed cost of $17,400 plus 2,000 times the variable costs, the RFID tags at 50 cents per book, for a total of $18,400. When adjusting for changes in volume, it is important to only change the fixed cost or the variable cost and keep the fixed cost constant. Another statement that the committee made, which is also incorrect, is that the additional costs would bring the cost per book to $20.90. In their analysis, they kept the number of books processed at 1,000 to reach that cost. This is unreasonable because the whole point of the additional costs is to increase the number of books being processed. As we can see in the next slide, a volume of 1,287 books results in a total unit costs exactly as it currently is of $17.90, meaning that any volume over that, such as the other part of the slide, if they are theoretically able to increase productivity by 50% to 1,500 books, they would have a total unit cost of $15.43, resulting in a cost savings per book. So in conclusion, it is important to separate fixed and variable costs when analyzing changes in volume, and only adjust the variable costs when doing so. Also, in this case, it is important to consider the revenue generated from having a prestigious library. That was a part of the analysis from the committee that was absent because they didn't take into account the fact that having rare books would offset some of the increased costs of the donations department. Thank you, and have a great day.